hate puppies. It's a good podcast.
I feel threatened.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet. I cannot get this button right.
It's the button's fault.
It's just so small. It's very difficult to dial in properly. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great week, and hope you had a great week this past week.
Yeah.
Which
How was your week?
I don't know yet. Literally,
We have to see how it unfolds.
literally running it back episode after episode to allow for everybody's travel schedules over the next week.
It's hard. We've been busy.
It could be worse. The good news is we have Ely back. Ely? Yeah, not sure how
Ely.
that happened.
He was here.
He was literally here a moment ago. We've
He never heard what you said about him. It's hilarious. And here he comes.
I think he's back this episode.
Yeah, he's back this episode.
There he is. He actually probably did the smart thing and went to the bathroom in between episodes, which means that I'm now probably going to have to do that mid-episode.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either.
That means we're far too dehydrated.
Yeah.
For what we should be doing. It's not good. But happens to the best of us.
Yeah, it does.
So you had a big week.
I did.
Even though we are running it back, a huge aspect of your life changed.
Yeah, it's funny because I had a listener, a mutual friend of ours, ask me, they were like, did you get a place? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, I feel like I hadn't heard you say anything. It's been Brendan talking about getting a place.
It's funny how that works. I keep talking about getting a place at Lake Gaston, and then you find a place
Yeah.
and end up buying, and I found a place, put a contract down, and then found out it was just rotting from the earth up, and the place was no good.
Yeah, but,
So I got screwed.
we've been looking for years and years and just trying to find the right place. And
But that's what I've been telling everybody. I was like, your wife's favorite pastime ever since I've known her
oh, yeah.
is to spend her weekend nights just looking at
Yep.
waterfront property.
Yep.
Because all the time when you're over here, you get 5-6 texts a night. Like, look at this place. Look at this place. So
exactly.
she definitely has been looking everywhere there's water
Yes.
for years. So the people that say, oh, but Brendan was the one looking and then Troy swooped in, they're wrong. You've been looking far longer than even I have.
Well, and we're looking for different things, too. But, yeah, we found a place. We found a waterfront piece of property on gas and then a community and, like, a campground place. And it's got a big old camper set up with a deck built around it and everything. And it's got a dock and everything. So we're excited. Yeah, we're finally going to have a place to go to, retreat to on the weekends.
So of the 3 hosts, 2 of y'all have waterfront places.
That's
and
right.
I still
gotta
don't
step
have
it up.
shit. I know. I'm trying, man. I'm desperately trying.
You'll find your place.
I hope so, man. Right now, I get that feeling I might have missed my window because the season's coming to an end. I'm hoping that there's another rush of people at the end of the season.
Well, I've been noticing where Ely has his place on their Facebook page. They're popping up selling. Like I think now might be the time. People might be looking to get rid of them.
That's what I'm
Running out of
hoping.
time.
I'm hoping that we're going to start to see the influx of properties and ones that are way underpriced because that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I just want it all for nothing.
Yeah. But you have a
what we
big
all
budget.
want.
You have a big budget. I don't know why you haven't found a place.
I have a big budget for a house in Gaston, not on Lake Gaston.
Yeah.
Very different. Like I found my dream house the other day for $120,000. I was like, look at this, but
Not on the water.
no, you'd have to go through multiple.
Well, why
houses
do you
to
want
get-
to? Why do you want a house?
There's part of me looking at townhouses and stuff. I just want
'Cause-
I want a boathouse.
But you can have that without having a house.
Yeah, that's all I want. The boathouse.
I mean, the house is a lot of work. That's why we don't want a house. That's why we weren't looking for a house.
I want something a little bigger than what you have, but not by much.
Yeah.
That's it. Like I want to have a kitchen, not a kitchen on the way to the bedroom.
Yeah.
That's the only difference, though. That's like I don't need it to be huge. It's not much. It's just not there. I'll find it. I found one today that was $800,000 that had a water slide and all kinds of stuff. I was like, this place is dope. I sent it to my wife. I was like, why don't we just buy this?
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't like the gold trim on the mirrors.
Oh, there you go.
I was like, fair enough. We'll keep looking.
Move along.
Moved on.
Move along.
Because that's not going to cut it.
Yeah, but now we got to, close and get down there and stock it up. Luckily, we don't have. I mean, it's a brand new camper. We don't have to buy furniture per se, but you got to get all the little essentials that you get to leave down there, which is nice. The pop up, we had to set everything up, but now we get to leave things down there. I'm sure Ely can speak on that. That's got to help. Like when you go to the river for the weekend, like
River,
you don't have to pack a ton of shit because it's already there.
Yeah, that's true.
the energy level on Ely this episode is very different than the first. Yeah, that's true. Do you just go outside and take a Quaalude? What the hell
Yeah.
is that?
No.
What the hell is going on? Yes.
Next question,
No.
Bob.
This is not going well. Oh, it's
Yeah,
not
the
going well. There
soundboard.
we go. Got to fix the soundboard. All right. I'm back. Well, dude,
So
congratulations.
now my wife's shopping for, everybody's asking about a boat, and of course that'll be on the horizon, but now we're looking for like a gazebo with netting around it so we can like have a screen room without actually building a screen room yet. And then you want to get like a kayak or a paddle board or something for the boys to play out in the cove with.
You need a boat.
Well, I will get a boat, but I mean, I don't need a boat today.
You need a boat yesterday. Couldn't agree with you more. Today is too late.
Y'all have a boat. Do you take your boat out a lot, or y'all just hang out by the water?
No, we take it out pretty frequently.
You do?
Yeah.
Which is funny because last year you didn't even have it down there. So has this year been a lot more enjoyable now that you have the boat there?
Well, now you have the slip right in front of your place, so it's
I wouldn't say
more
it's a lot
convenient.
more enjoyable, but it's another avenue of having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that'd be amazing. The only thing that I've had to figure out is like I have to curb my drinking if I
On
have
the
a
boat,
boat.
yeah.
Because I'm going to be the driver. So I hope the kids love wakeboarding from 10 to 2. Because that is the witching hour. Like,
Your
that's
best
when it's
bet
going down.
on a lake, what you do is you go out at 8 in the morning, and you go from 8 to 10 or 11, and then that's when all the people start coming out, and then you're done.
That's not a horrible idea. Yeah, I'd like to spend my days.
You go out on Lake Anna, I know, and it's a smaller lake, but you go out on Lake Anna in the prime hours, and it's just a minefield of people and boats and
Everywhere.
jet skis. Yeah, it's dangerous.
When there's and then if you're dragging a tube and a kid flips off, like you got to make that circle real quick. Make
Yep.
that perimeter. Keep those boats out of there.
Yeah.
So, do you ever come across that? I mean, well, yes, you're out in the river, so you have a little more. You have less traffic.
Yeah, but I'm a seasoned lake veteran.
So, do you like the lake more?
Yeah, we'll probably retire on a lake at some point, but like where we are is just perfect for the kid. Like until the kids are 16 or something, you know what I mean?
And then you'll, because right now
Yeah.
you live. I mean, that place is Disneyland.
Yeah,
I mean, it has
So-
everything.
yeah.
Whereas we're gonna end up on the lake because I will be joining you at some point, Troy. We're gonna be down on a lake where it's like there's really not a whole lot to go do. Where
Yeah.
Ely, it's like I don't know which water slide do you want to hit.
Yeah.
Little different.
Yeah.
So that's I do want to get to a point where I could have like the golf cart culture that you do have. That is ridiculous.
Yeah,
When we went down there
I'm
last
going to get a
year,
golf cart before I get a boat.
well, where you live, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you have a whole community.
Yep.
But where Ely is like that's like Myrtle Beach. Like
Oh,
the way
yeah.
people are like cruising. Like golf carts are just out and about. I mean, that is definitely like nothing I'd ever seen
It's
down
a thing
there.
to do.
That is the Redneck Riviera. Did I see your wife bought a ridiculous like pink golf cart now?
She did.
So do you have
absolutely.
multiple
She got a
golf
pink
carts?
golf car? I hadn't seen this.
We had multiple.
But now you got multiples.
No, we traded one in.
Okay, so you just have 2 golf carts.
Yeah.
What's the deal on this pink one? It looked like it was decked out.
Yeah, it's just, it's got leopard pink seats.
Oh God.
It's got, stereo. And
So real
all
subdued.
that. Yeah. Subtle.
Yes. Like you're always getting confused. Oh, I don't know if that's hers.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No. There's no mistaking it. For sure.
Where did she see that? Was it like somebody selling
She's
it down
wanted
there?
it for a long time because she had seen it. It was for sale, and then it went away, and then it popped up again.
She
So
jumped
she
all
really
over it.
wanted it. Yeah. So
Electric or gas?
It's electric. We have all electric now. We
Yeah.
traded our
What's the
gas in.
difference between that was the worst episode ever. If it takes an old school listener to get that joke. That was unfortunate. I really thought I was I had a lot more words in my head than what came out of my mouth in that moment.
I'm thinking I'm gonna get an electric when I get one, just for ease of maintenance.
Yeah, I mean, you got every handful of years, you got to drop $700 on batteries. So
they go out that quickly.
I mean, 5
if you
to
keep
7
up with them,
years.
Exactly. Yeah.
What does
5
keeping
years.
up with them mean? Like how you charge them?
Fill them up and make sure you charge
Fill
them
them with
right.
water, charge them.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with gas is, a gas engine you have to maintain. I mean,
Yeah,
you
oh, yeah.
really do. It's not like you treat your $200 lawnmower that you just top off the oil and add more gas to it. Like, that thing will seize up and then you'll really be humped. The electric motor will never go out. Like, that never happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens.
It's very rare.
Yeah, it takes a lot more miles.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they don't make like more electric boats. Like that.
Yeah, I don't.
Should exist.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. There's one company out there I've been looking at.
Maybe the water's too bad for them.
The companies that make them, they all start at like $250,000.
Yeah.
Like they are like exorbitantly expensive, but they look amazing.
Yeah.
Like, pretty badass. But it's just not. No one's doing it, so the price is still
I
astronomical.
just hate the noise of a gas golf car
Yeah.
when you're cruising around.
It does suck.
Yeah.
It fires up when you hit the gas. It's annoying.
Can't hear the radio. Can't hear somebody talking in the back.
Exactly.
Kind of annoying.
So
First world problems.
Yep.
this is what we solve. This is what we do. I'm excited to go down and visit your spot for sure, man. It looks and there's a dock, right?
Oh, you think you're invited?
Oh.
This is awkward.
It finally comes back. All those times we didn't invite Troy.
That's right.
Now
the
going
one
to.
time. No, of course. Yeah. We have a dock. It'll be awesome. It's shallow out there, a couple feet deep. Kids can go play in it and have a good time.
Would you
we'll have
rather
y'all
have
down.
extreme deep water off the end of your dock in a lake?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
So the place we were looking at had deep water. It was like 10 feet deep off the end of the dock. And my one daughter was freaked out. She was like, "No, I don't like that at all." She's like, "Get the place that's shallow." And I'm like, "I don't want to walk out there and then be on a float."
No,
like
you want to
3
be able to
feet.
jump off the dock.
That's what I was saying. But
Yeah.
she was acting like I was crazy. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is just an 8-year-old thing.
Yeah.
Like,
You want to be able to swim.
yeah, like when she's 12, she's going to want that deep water.
Yeah.
But there is part of you as a parent that's like, it is sketch.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, like until they're
There's pros and cons to both. We got a ton of shallow water at the river now, and it's nice for people that don't like deep water.
see, that's because you deal with the fluctuation of
Well, the good thing is shallow
The
water
world.
used to be
Yeah.
shallow water used to be a problem because you couldn't have a boat, but now they make so many awesome boats that can handle it. So
Yeah.
you can get a nice pontoon that doesn't pull a lot of water. You can get a
Right.
jet ski. You can get a flat bottom skiff or something that'll
Mhm.
slide right in there.
yeah. What kind of boat you looking at? You think?
I grew up water skiing,
Yep.
so I
That
would
makes
love to
sense.
have something like that.
Roller
but-
skating, water skiing. Yeah, you do all the dorky version of cool stuff.
Water skiing's dorky?
Yeah, compared to wakeboarding.
Dude, first off, wakeboarding went around when I learned to water ski.
Right.
I learned to water ski when I was 5.
Yeah,
Like, there was no wakeboarding.
but I'm prejudiced though, because like I snowboard, so I look at skiers like they're antiquated.
I learned to ski when I was 5.
Yeah.
There was no snowboarding.
Yeah, I think it's antiquated, but I think it's all just comes down to what I can do.
So you
So it's-
can't water ski.
No, I can't water ski. No, that probably, like I said, that probably has something to do with it.
I was slalom skiing when I was like 9 or 10.
I just get bored, like just being dragged and going out and back. Like I like the option of jumping. And
You can
stuff.
jump on skis. You can jump the wake on skis.
It sounds cooler. Everybody I know that
It's
I've
getting
ever
better.
told-
Did you ever kneeboard?
Yeah, kneeboarding was all right.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun. But then once I started wakeboarding, but what I want to do, and I've
I was
never
pretty good
done
on
it,
kneeboard.
I want to wake surf. Like,
Yeah.
I want that to be.
My uncle does that all
that
the time.
stuff looks
It
cool.
seems super lame.
It is super lame.
Well,
it's
yeah,
really easy.
but you're using the wake, so it's like you do get to interact with the water a little more.
Yeah, but like
That seems
60-year-old
cool to
people
me.
can do it.
Yeah, like you're like 2 feet off the boat.
and going super slow.
I mean, it's
You are, but it just seems cool to me.
okay.
I think just because it's that feeling when you're surfing, it's so short-lived because the wave is coming in to crash. And so if you could extend
I've never
that,
surfed
if you could extend that feeling,
over 5
I
minutes.
feel like that would feel cool. But then I guess like anything, you're like, I've been doing the same thing forever. You probably do start to get bored with it.
Yeah.
Whereas wakeboarding, I would always go out there and then I'd get to a point where like, I'm bored, I'm going to go for big air. And then I'd hurt myself and come in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And be like, that's just the natural progression.
When
of
I
the
was
sport.
slalom skiing, like I would just cut as hard as I could from one side to the other, just get going faster than shit.
That's a rush.
Start pulling the boat around. I was pretty good on wakeboard when I was a kid. I could stand up, I could turn around, I could do some tricks, get some air. Could never do like a barrel roll or anything because you had to be going like really fast.
On a wakeboard, you
Yeah.
said? Yeah. I mean, I can do some stuff, but I've definitely given myself concussions on the water.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think you'd be able to do that, but I can.
Oh yeah.
Pretty talented at that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I'd like to get something they could ski behind, but then again, I just look at it like another problem. So I'm thinking like just a smaller pontoon boat that could pull some tubers, and that way we can go out in the water, have fun, chill, throw anchor down, do some tubing. That way
Yeah, something to party on.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And that's
Now
what I think.
your pontoon, you have a tri-toon, right?
Mm-hmm.
That sucker you can ski behind that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, his goes fast.
Yeah.
Like I've been in his boat. We're going past, like speedboats.
Y'all do any wakeboarding or skiing or anything?
No.
Not yet.
Mm-mm.
I haven't skied in so long. I don't even know if I'd like to try it again for fear of injuring myself.
Oh, you'll be back. You'll be back.
I sold my snowboard, so
Yeah, but now you're gonna be out there all the time. I mean, it's gonna happen.
who's gonna drive the boat?
That's the other thing I was worried
Yeah.
about. Like, I got all these things I want to do, but who's even gonna try to ride the boat?
No.
Drive the boat?
My wife will want no parts of that. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, I need to teach my kids. What is there an age limit you have to be?
Now
before you
there
can-
is.
Damn it!
Now there is. It's 16, and you got to get your license.
Well,
And that's to operate anything.
Yeah,
Any
even a jet
motorized,
ski.
Yep.
You need to have that license. It's crazy. But I mean, I get it. I'm kind of
makes
shocked that they
sense.
never had it. It
No,
used
it
to be
makes
that
sense.
the water was the Wild West. Now they're cracking down on that stuff.
Well, and it used to be you could go buy a $50,000 boat and they just throw the keys and say, "Have at it." And then you see like all the pictures of the fails where like dude drove his truck down first into down the boat ramp, or unhooked the trailer from the truck and drug the trailer around under the boat.
Yeah.
Like,
I just had to back a trailer up for the first time in my life. Like, actually bring a boat down just a public boat dock, or a boat ramp. And I've seen it happen a million times, and I understood the physics completely in my head. And I was like, I've got it. Everything's just the opposite. If you're going this way, the boat's going to go that way.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, this is a non-issue. Man, that's a serious issue. I
Yeah.
could not do it. I ended up having to get out and just lift up the trailer and aim it and then the back straight in. Like, I couldn't do it. And maybe I think it's because I don't have the patience for it, but it was also like a thin lot. Like, I didn't have a lot of room to turn around. So it was like,
there's some tricks.
I do not have those tricks. It was
I do the bottom of the steering wheel goes the direction you want the trailer to go.
the bottom of the steering wheel.
Yeah. So if you hold the bottom instead of hold the top like you usually, if you hold the bottom.
You don't have to hold it as long as you just know that the
Yeah.
direction it needs to go is the direction you want the boat trailer to go.
But bottom from if the steering wheel's at true, like straight, then you follow that part of the bottom around.
Whichever fucking way the bottom of the steering wheel goes is the way
Oh,
the
I got
boat's
you. I
gonna
see what
go.
you're saying. If the bottom's going right, the boat's going right.
Yeah, exactly.
Aha. Maybe this knowledge would help me. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
It also helps, like a lot of times you turn over and look over your shoulder. If you can turn more of your body around and get your head closer to the center line of the vehicle, it really helps your eye line.
I needed some kind of trick because I ended up just getting out, like I said, and just moving it,
Manhandle it.
throwing out my back. Some dude came walking up and was like, you need some help? I was like, no, but I'll accept it.
Yeah. Big problem people make too that are just starting is they make too big of adjustments.
Yes.
That was the other thing I
You
noticed.
always end up swinging it and then swinging it back and then you're swinging it back. You're
Yeah,
doing
it
too
seemed like
much.
very little was the key so that it just starts tracking, not
Right.
turning.
Right.
Yeah, because once you make those big adjustments, they get bigger and bigger.
Right.
By
quickly.
the second.
Yeah.
And then I was like having to like start over, like
Yep,
pull back
start
out
back
straight
up.
and then back up again and then see where it was going. So it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
But I knew it wouldn't be because that's why I've avoided it all these years. But in this instance, I didn't have a choice because the father-in-law was like, I need you to help me out with something. I'm like, I'm your guy. Of course I'm your guy. I'm a man. I got out there. I was like, oh, I'm way out of my element. This is bad. But I had a lot of time before he got there to figure it out. So
There you go.
just had a little help from some nice people walking by.
There's
Don't
all
be-
kinds of tricks too.
Don't
if
be
you're-
too proud to take help.
Right.
That's for sure.
No, I wasn't. Oh, as soon as the dude was like, can I help? I was like, yeah, you totally can. And then he got to look like a hero in front of his wife. And
That's
then
right.
She got to be like, that guy sucked. And he's like, I know.
Yeah.
Let's go home and do it. I'm a man. Not like that.
We'll laugh at
nerd.
him.
Exactly. Tell me how stupid he was again.
Makes me hot.
Yeah, she was all into him. Not so much me.
Right.
And I get it. I sucked.
Happens to the best out of us.
Yeah, it did. It did on that day, that's for sure. Well, congratulations on the spot,
Thank you.
man.
Thank you. Yeah, you're the last of the Mohicans. We gotta get you.
Don't worry, I'll get down there. I just gotta figure it out. I'll buy the boat first.
There you go.
Just kind of hang out at your house.
That worked for Ely.
It did work for Ely. You bought the boat, and then you had to have the place.
Yeah. Well, there's a lake right by the house, so
Yeah, so you were in that though. I mean, that helped.
yeah.
Then you got rid of that little place, right?
No, I'm saying like we had a slip, so I didn't have to have a house. There's a lake that we just take the boat out on.
But that's because you felt comfortable backing it up. A big part of the reason that I want to buy this is because I fully anticipate bringing someone down there to back my boat in one time.
Don't do that. Just fuck it up 5 times, and then you'll be a pro.
That's why you're so interested in a boathouse, because you want somewhere you can lift
I
the
will
boat out of the
never-
water, leave the boat in the water all year long.
Yes. I never want to put it on the trailer.
All makes sense now.
Oh, yeah, that should have added up immediately.
It should have. That's
Yeah.
on me for not picking up on that.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I'm willing to spend a lot more money to ensure that I don't have to have 5 minutes of
You would
embarrassment.
love where my uncle's place is, because they have guys on tractors that they'll go into the boat storage lot, hook your boat up, drag
Put it
down
in the
there,
water.
put it in the water for you, and then you walk down, your boat's already down there.
Oh, that's worth paying for right
Yep.
there. That is right up my alley.
For all those city slickers out there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's me. Don't care.
I still have to pull it out though, do maintenance, things like that.
Yeah.
I've tried to build a raft to change the oil, and it's a bitch.
A raft to change the oil?
Yeah, how you gonna change the oil in your fucking boat lift?
Oh, so you could stay in the raft and be under the boat?
How are you gonna change the fucking oil in your boat in the boat
Yeah.
lift?
The skills. The straw. I assume. Hadn't really thought about that. There's no drain
Yeah.
plug going down.
What?
I guess if inside the hull you can get under it.
Oh, you're talking about if you have an inboard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, I guess you have to do like the Mercedes technique and draw the oil out, up,
Yeah, I'm
and
talking about
out.
on an outboard.
Like, I wouldn't have an outboard. I need a
Yeah.
jet boat.
Yeah, you
I
do.
need something. I need
Ely, he clearly doesn't know the difference between all these inboard, outboard, outboard
Oh, I do.
jet boats.
I just want a jet boat because I'm going to be wake surfing. I don't want to be falling towards the propeller.
Right.
Okay.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to give up a little of the slow maneuverability. But
don't
what do
have to
I
have
care?
an inboard.
I'm a captain.
You don't
Yeah.
have to have a jet boat to do that.
No, but I feel a lot more comfortable knowing that there's not a propeller right there.
You're not really near the propeller when you're wake surfing.
I don't want to be anywhere near it.
Okay.
I want the propeller to be way up inside, sucking in,
You want an impeller.
and that's what a jet boat uses.
Yes.
Yes. You're feeling me. All
Oh,
right.
I
See?
got it.
I was like, he's mocking me, but that's the right term, dork.
Yeah.
You don't know shit. Oh, apparently you do. That's my bad. Dude, last episode you were talking about that Natty Light seltzer.
Yes.
So did you see the PBR coffee?
No.
So PBR is coming out with a coffee now.
Like of morning coffee, not like
an alcoholic coffee.
Okay.
It's in 7 markets now. They're testing it. It's going gangbusters. Apparently, people say it tastes just like Yoo-Hoo.
I never liked Yoo-Hoo.
No, but this is like perfect for that person who wants, pick me up before going to work. I mean,
oh my God. Just pour that into your coffee cup every morning?
this is literally people are going to be drinking with uppers first thing in the morning. This is like the quintessential alcoholic drink.
How does that work too when you're taking uppers and downers?
Ask Farley.
Cancels out.
You end up like that.
Yeah.
Ask For Loco.
It doesn't go well. Yeah, Four Loko used to cause, that may as well have been a meth problem when that shit hit the market. That was crazy.
I never got a chance to have one of those.
You never had a Four Loko?
Nah.
Oh, man.
Scared me a little bit.
Feels like bad decisions faster.
Yeah.
It was good.
Did you feel like the speed? Like, did you feel the...
Yeah, Four Loko would make you kind of shaky,
Uh-huh.
actually. Like it had so much caffeine and guarana and stuff in it.
Yeah.
And then just a boatload of booze.
Because a lot of energy drinks don't really do it for me. Like, I'd have to... Like, if I drink one energy drink, it doesn't, like, make me jittery or anything.
Yeah, I drink so much coffee nowadays that
Yeah.
I don't think it would. But then I had
Coffee's like that. Like, I need 40 ounces of coffee to get me to, like, start to feel it. If I drink one 16, 20 ounce
an
cup,
energy drink still does it, I think, because of all the other bullshit in it,
Uh-huh.
including all the sugar and all that. Like, I definitely feel an energy drink more so than a coffee. Not in a good way.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I like it.
I don't think I've had an energy drink in maybe one in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Then stay the course.
Yeah, I have no interest in it.
I had that one. I told you guys the story on the air about when I thought I was having a stroke. Like, I honestly chugged that giant Red Bull coconut thing.
Yeah.
We were partying. Everything in the place tunneled out on me. It was bad. I thought it was the end. I was like, this is it. I'm going to stroke
You
out
thought
at
it
an
was a big
engagement
one, huh?
party. Yeah.
That's scary.
It was not good. So, yeah, I try to avoid them. But PBR is going down this road for us. They're going to make this happen. PBR
When
coffee.
would you, are you
Sounds
supposed
gross.
to drink that before you go out at night? Like, it just sounds weird.
I guess you drink it anytime. How many people drink Red Bull and coffees all the time?
Do they? Is that a thing? I feel like I've
not
never
Red
heard
Bull. I'm
that.
sorry, Red
Vodka.
Bull vodka. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, that...
But that happens all the time. People
I feel like
love
that would taste better than a Yoo-Hoo flavored... PBR isn't known for their flavor.
No, but they're going down the same road as this Natty seltzer thing.
I wouldn't say that's the same at all.
Yeah, it's low cost buzz.
But
kinda
one's
the same
coffee.
thing. Yeah, it's a very
They're just all
different-
diversifying away from their beer.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's what
because
they're doing.
people aren't drinking beer. Like they're
Well, people are drinking beer. They're not drinking their beer.
well, the numbers are dropping. And
For beer?
yeah, beer drinkers in general
Yeah, I would
are dropping.
Well,
Really?
Yeah,
you got to think if the seltzers are spiking, then that's coming from somewhere.
as wine goes up, as liquor goes up, then
Beer
beer
drops.
goes down,
Yeah.
and you also have a general society on the whole is drinking less. So because of that, sales are already slumping. Then you add all this diversification. It's got to start
That's
chipping
interesting.
away.
I didn't know we were drinking less.
Yeah, the younger generations drink less. They're calling it sober curious. It's like when someone who always drinks casually.
It's like a play on bi-curious.
Just like that.
It's actually very similar in my
Yeah.
mind. But yeah, so sober curious is a revolution happening right now amongst
didn't
millennials.
we
where
talk about it?
They go to bars to have mocktails as a group and just try to stay sober for extended periods of time, but still do the bar scene.
Well, didn't we talk about it? They were worried the social media thing was keeping them in check. None of them want to be
That's a huge reason.
having pictures taken of them and put on social media in a silly-ass state. Back when we were, 19, 20, 21, we would do silly things, get drunk, pass out. Maybe a friend had a camera. Maybe they actually remembered to get the film developed. Maybe they actually developed the film and didn't tell you, we can't develop that here because it's so outrageous.
Basically, it was stories was the worst thing that would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now
You could always deny, nah, that didn't happen like
it's the
that.
number one reason millennials state for not getting drunk
Yeah.
is that they don't want to be embarrassed on social media. It has nothing to do with
I
health.
think that's not true. personally.
That's what they're saying, though.
I know that's what they're saying, but I think that's
Then
a
what do you think
cop-out.
the reason is?
I think it's just...
That sounds like a valid reason to me.
It certainly does to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not me.
I want to get a job.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want pictures of me on the internet, my dong hanging out.
I
passed out.
totally disagree.
Or someone else.
Nobody gives a fuck about that when they're 17.
17's different. The drinking age is 21. What, you didn't drink before you were 21, did you?
Nobody gives a fuck about that.
I bet people do, because I bet every kid that age knows a person who's had that happen to them and has wrecked their life, wrecked their social life. I bet every kid is not too far removed from, oh, I know so-and-so, their brother did XYZ and everybody found out about it, or a picture got sent to his mom. Like, if not only social media, other ways of getting called out on that.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
You're looking at it from your 17-year-old mindset.
Well, yeah, because we knew people that had fucked up bad, got locked in jail and shit, and we didn't give a fuck. I was still drinking the next day.
But very true. But I think social media
chances-
has changed the reality of people's worlds.
Everyone has
No,
a
I
camera.
think they're totally different. I think they're this weird fucking neutered gender, this neutered race of humans.
And you don't think
for some
that's
reason doesn't. They're not. I don't think they're consciously. I think that is the hip reasoning, is what I'm saying.
I think that all the things that you're saying are byproducts of social media. That they're inundated with other people's thoughts, and that if they have their own thought and it goes against the group, they get ridiculed. I think social media is a big part of why all that's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, to deny that it's not a big part is crazy, but I don't. Yeah, I just don't see that as it.
Yeah, look,
That's even weirder because I don't know that I have the answer, but I think I see that as a cop-out reason. I see that as a fake reason.
I
Like,
mean, it's
it's like-
it's convenient reason.
It's exactly what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like when you give the answer that you know you're supposed to give. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to say.
Yes.
But really, it's because I shit my
right.
pants last time and
Right.
it sucks.
Exactly.
Or I want to be healthy and I know all these things. I mean, people don't smoke now because it's been beating their head forever. It's bad.
I mean, same reason with why they're having less sex. You're telling me that's because of social media? No, it's something weird about these motherfuckers.
If they start being like, Stacy's a whore, on social media because she
Dude,
fucked my boyfriend.
Talking about sex is different than wanting your balls sucked. What are you talking about, dude?
Now you
well,
sound
that's
like
a
my dad.
valid point.
Yes. I mean,
But you don't think that if somebody gets ridiculed on social media,
no, then they're just like, oh, cool, I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm still horny as fuck.
maybe that's the case. But I feel like if I had grown up in the social media era, I might have been different.
There's no doubt you would have been different.
That's all I'm saying.
No, that's not what you're saying.
I thought it was.
That's what it sounded like.
No, that's what we're saying now.
Yeah, you don't think you would have been more cognizant of your actions?
That's not that's not the argument. Of course I would be.
But that's their argument for not drinking. I don't know the sex reason.
Yeah. I just don't buy it. That's all.
I mean, if you're in your house and you feel like you're having social interaction because you're on a feed
and
with all
there's
your
that.
friends.
That's what it is more
That's
than
what-
anything.
yeah.
But again, that's social media infecting your ability to go out and interact, which then leads to sex.
And
Yeah.
fun.
Well, again, I think the reason is that they don't know why they don't want to. In other words, I'm so balls deep in this social media, but I'm so horny. I'm not having sex. Can someone please help me? That's what they're fucking screaming inside. But when this fucking survey comes across, they're like, I don't want to get in trouble on social media.
Well,
Like-
okay, then
Maybe
what about
so.
what about the groups that actually go out to bars and are actually interacting with people and have unlimited access to liquor, drinks, beers, whatever, and they're choosing not to binge drink, not to drink in excess, and they're saying it's because of social media. Do you not buy that?
I do not buy that, no. I don't buy that at all.
Well, don't you think once you were at the bar and you were cutting loose and having fun and you had the access, you'd be prone to drink more?
Or not if you had just don't know how to do it or was raised to not do it or multiple reasons. I think the social media thing is just a convenient... Like, the social media thing is what they're telling people. The reasoning that's in their brain comes from somewhere totally different. At least that's my perspective.
But it's a good answer.
For sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a great answer.
I mean, but it's one I had never considered until they finally released this study.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it was the answer that bubbled up to the top. And I
Right.
was like, hadn't even thought of that.
Right. Because every single answer to what you're saying is they could do everything we did. All they'd have to do is just not do dumb shit. Like, it doesn't get rid of your
And
desire
honestly,
to drink or your desire to...
I stopped doing dumb shit a long time ago, so it wouldn't affect me. Like, I just...
Right.
But there was that really young age where I probably would have been pretty embarrassed. But at the same time, those stories did show up at school. Like, I had to hear about it.
Right.
And it didn't really bother me but so much because I kind of was like, yep.
And since when are, like I said, 20-year-olds smart enough to think about what they want to, like...
In the future.
The
yeah,
future.
That's true. Yeah.
Right.
You don't think about the future.
No.
You do not.
I think about
No.
25. You're like, you get it. You're
Yes.
like, oh, snap. Because
I
that
don't
was
even
when
know.
I woke up. I became
I
woke
might have
at
been closer to
25.
30.
25 to 30 for me.
And part of me still feels like I'm not any more of an adult than I was at 25.
In many ways.
Well, I'm more cognizant of my issues, if you
Yes.
will.
Yeah.
You know, I recognize that, so I at
think
least try to
they don't
curb
know
them.
how to be social is the problem.
Well, I definitely believe that.
That's the core of it.
And I think that's a byproduct of the social media that no one,
Yeah.
when they invented it, when it all came out, no one thought that far in advance.
So
Like,
they're
this
getting
is
to the
gonna
they're
fu-
getting to the bars at 21, and that's like them first hanging out at 15. Like, they just came out of a cave.
Yeah.
And they're like, we
What
should
do
talk.
I do here?
Yeah, and then maybe
And they're probably on their phone the whole time anyway.
right 3 years of hanging out in this bar. I guarantee I would be willing to bet money those people that are hanging out in that bar, not drinking, they do that for 2 years. A large chunk of them will start drinking.
It's certainly possible.
Yeah.
But the sober curious thing they say is from people who were drinking and then decided to stop, but never had a problem. Just decided, I want to see what this other side's about.
Oh,
and maybe
interesting.
this is just because it's a buzzword that, you know,
Yeah.
they're just starting to push that.
Trigger word.
Yeah, that I'm just starting to hear it more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's all tied to them not knowing how to be social.
I agree.
I think
And
they still,
But we can agree that's a byproduct of social media.
yes, for sure.
That's
Okay.
that's literally one of the biggest fears I have for my boys. Like, I do not want them to be antisocial because as much as I dislike a lot of people, I feel like you're not going to be successful in life if you don't know how to conduct yourself in a social setting. And maybe that's,
No, they
Me-
say that soft skills are far more important than education, actually.
but that might be different for that generation.
That's what I was getting ready to say. There's a fine line there. So if you try to raise your kids the way you were too much, they may be isolated from their peers.
And then
Well,
they
and so
won't
that's
even
what
know
I-
how to interact in today's society.
Right.
So
So
then you're
that's-
yeah.
screwed.
So I've had that conversation with some of the dads that are that I hang out with who's have older kids. They're getting to the 10, 11, 12, and they're like, they want cell phones, right? Well, the parents might not want them to have a cell phone, but what they're finding out is by not allowing the kids to have the cell
They
phones,
get judged.
Now they're
getting out-
losers.
They're the outliers, yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's like, there's this group chat going on, and my son or daughter's not invited to anything. They're not involved in anything because they don't know, because that's, like you said, that's how they all interact.
Yeah.
So now you're the dork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you might be the coolest kid in school, but no one knows.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different world, man. Different world. That's why we need boats.
Because that cell phone thing scares the shit out of me. 'Cause
Absolutely.
You give a kid a cell phone, that kid has access to any and everything.
Well, it depends on what you get them, right? I mean, you still have the ability to get them. You could get them one of those watches, too.
My son has one of those, and he's really not that interested in it, but we like that we can make him wear it at certain times. But, you know, he's still young. Like, when he's a preteen or a teenager, like, you get him a flip phone, he's going to be fucking mocked for it. Like, you're not
Yeah.
going to be able to text with your friends and be a part of that. Like,
Oh,
so
you can text. It just takes 1,000 more
I
taps.
think,
A, B,
I think
C.
there's a way to get a regular phone.
like a smartphone
that
that's
can
dumbed down.
Yeah, it
Just have it
can't-
locked
there's
down.
no internet. There's no apps.
Yeah.
You can text, and you can't procure. You can't buy any apps. You know, none of that shit.
I feel like I don't see a lot of that. Like, I feel like one of these smartphone companies would be smart to, like, make one of those, like, designed for that. And I feel like that's not a thing.
Yeah, Fisher Price needs to get into this smartphone game
Yeah,
for sure. I got the new Oshkosh Bagosh. It's pretty sweet.
right.
It's HD. It's pretty awesome. Troy, you brought us a deli today, right?
Oh, I did. Is it deli time already?
What?
It is. We're 40 minutes in. It's the first time I can point towards the deli. Oh no!
This is a true deli.
Ely, you're gonna be
It's
psyched.
an IPA.
Cool.
The big slice juicy IPA from Three Notch Brewery. That's 2 weeks in a row we've had some local beers here for the Richmond folk. Ely, you're gonna love this.
Well, I thought I've got to, if you're going to do a deli, you got to try for the IPA route, right?
dude, this is a big IPA. Like this is the Three Notched Big Slice Juicy IPA.
7.8%, but it's
Yeah,
only
that's
15 IBUs, so that's low, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is low.
Grab Summer by the Slice with the big
What?
juicy India Pale Ale brewed in the New England style. Big Slice is a hoppy and hazy from
Really?
intense dry hopping,
I'm actually
but
intrigued
not
by this.
bitter. Mango and orange and tropical fruit flavors burst through
That is a
to complement
big
the soft
old
sweetness
IPA, but there's something
and
up.
smooth mouthfeel from the lactose. The perfect beer for going big. No actual fruit was harmed during the crafting of this beer.
This is an interesting for a 7.8.
I was about to say, I feel like the 7.8's hurting it.
Oh, I know the 7.8's hurting it because it's way too strong. But I am absolutely intrigued by what you're going to say about this just based on my first sip. It wasn't what I was expecting. I expected,
not at all. It's
I expected something way more over the top hoppy. And even though it is extremely hoppy, it's extremely fruity.
That is weird.
That is. Like that is a cross between the Shady Spot, right?
Yeah.
Summer Shandy, and a big fat IPA.
Yeah, that is. It does exactly taste like that. Like you've taken a full-on IPA and just cut it right in half with a ton of fruit.
With an orange.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to jump right in on that because the Three Notch Brewing Company Big Slice Juicy IPA
It's a limited release, it says.
is everything I don't want in an IPA. It's 7.8%, so it's way too strong. It's
Not
too
all IPAs were really strong.
well, but that's what I don't like. I don't like
okay.
the 7.8 because they tend to be way over the top,
Yeah.
punch you in the mouth with hops. This thing, you know it's hoppy right up front, but then every last bit of the aftertaste is orange.
Washed away by the fruit.
The bitterness is there, but it's so covered up by the
Yeah.
orange that it is. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm wavering between a 3.5 and a 4. I mean, that's how much I like it. I want to put it up into like that deli range. For an IPA, I'll put it at a 4. Just because it is a true IPA, and that's what typically gets beat up in here. But how orangey it is, like the aftertaste, it's like having orange gum
Yeah.
in my mouth. Like it's
I love citrus beer, and I do not like IPAs, so when I saw this, I was intrigued. To me, this is a perfect blend of both. I like the orangey aftertaste.
Did you say it had lactose in it?
Yes.
That
That
might
makes
be
it smoother.
part of what's smoothing it out
Mhm.
because that sweetness from the lactose lends itself to the orange.
Yep.
That's what's making it so sugary sweet.
Yep.
That's tasty. Yeah, I'm good with my 4.
Because what I really hate about IPAs, I've talked at length, is the funk mouth it gives you after you've had a sip, and it just grosses me out. That was awesome.
Oh, dude. I just threw my dip right on Ely. Well, it's a Zin. I'm
Yeah.
sorry about that, man. That was not the intended
it's all good.
But
direction of that toss.
I'm with Brendan. I'll give this a 4. I like this beer. I would drink it again, and I would recommend it to someone, and I would actually seek it out and buy it again.
I will buy this again. Like, if I see this
12
in a
bucks
bar.
for a 6-pack. So, I mean,
Ooh, that's what the last one was, this that we tried.
that's $2 a
last
beer.
week.
That's pretty good.
That's, I mean, it was so good that I threw my Zin right into Ely's lap. That was
That good.
That
See, I
good.
like this beer.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it too for an IPA.
It kind of makes me enjoy the hop
it's the lactose in the orange in here is a perfect compliment. I'm blown away by this beer.
Like I like the hop taste at the front, and I like how the orange and lactose cut it away. Doesn't linger.
I'm shocked.
It's definitely one of the best IPAs I've had. If it was like 5%, I can imagine it would be
Little
the
too
best
boozy.
one. Yeah, well, a little too much. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's not so
got
much
too
boozy.
much punch.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Too much. I like light beers.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that 7.8.
If it was lighter, I could see myself liking it way more. A little bit less of that hard hop flavor. But it's still an IPA to me. But it's a high IPA, so I don't know. 3. I give it a 3.
That's solid.
That's solid.
That's solid. In the old days, that would have won a deli, but we've had to change the little bell ring.
That's not a get it out of here. So
No.
I mean, between all of us, if it's close to a does everyone like it?
Yeah.
It's not a does Ely like it? It's a fine line between those
Yeah.
two things. When Ely's not here, this would have won.
Exactly.
I will say something. I'm super impressed that you know what beers we've had and what we haven't had.
Dude,
I
his
can't tell
recall.
you, I don't even know what we had last show. I don't even know. I couldn't.
It was the mango habanero. from
Right.
Licking Hole
But I
Creek.
mean,
It's right here.
It was an hour ago.
yeah, still. Like, I have no recollection
I'm
of the
with you.
beers that we've had.
He recalls everything. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't remember how we scored them necessarily. I just remember if I liked it or didn't like it.
Well,
That's still
you messed
shocking
up
to me.
once. You have brought a beer in we've had before,
I have.
so you're not batting 1,000, but you're batting 9.
No, but I'm
Yeah.
batting
50.
well. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
for
Hall
sure.
of Fame numbers.
Yes,
I'll give myself
absolutely.
that.
That's
but
crazy to me.
Well, it's like you
It's
remembered the stats on all of Boo Boo Macerio's beers.
Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck beer he gave us.
Yeah, I couldn't. If you gave me $5 million to name, I might not be. I couldn't name the last one.
It was this one, right?
Yeah, the
Actually,
shady
yeah, it's
spot.
sitting right here. I couldn't name that one.
Sasquatch.
We would have been rich.
Yeah. No takebacks, Brendan.
Yeah, that's right. You owe me.
I don't remember agreeing to this bet at all.
Yeah.
The hell just
But
happened?
if I had to name the other 4 or 5 beer,
Put a gun to my head, I'm gone. Yeah.
pull the trigger.
Right.
Let's not waste anyone's
No
time.
one's.
I don't know that I could prattle off his beers though. But if you showed it to me, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's one that Boo Boo got."
Oh, is that what it is? The look? What is it that you remember? The name?
It's the name. The name usually.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
like,
I'm pretty good at like I saw this one today and I was like, don't think we've had that. Like I'm pretty good at knowing what we've had and what we haven't.
Not me.
But then again, I didn't ask Brendan if we had the tiramisu stout from
yes, we have.
Steamboat.
In fact, the first time we had it was when we did a remote from Brew, and the brewer was there with his like home brewing club before he
That's
opened.
right, yeah.
Before he opened Steam Bell,
Yep.
and he came over to the table and sat down with us, and he gave us all a taste of it, and I was like, "That's amazing."
That was amazing.
So that was the first time we had it, but it was actually on the air.
I'm also the same guy that yelled at Brendan for drinking Heineken and saying he never drinks Heineken, and then he threw it in my face that he drank Heineken at my house out of a Heineken mini keg. So I'm not one for my memory, obviously.
No, you literally own a Heineken kegerator, and you're like, "No one even drinks that stuff." I'm like, "You own the kegerator."
I have the 8-ounce Heineken glasses that go with it.
You do. I mean, you've got the entire
Yeah.
setup. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I stand by that.
Well done, sir. Well done.
I'm not going to let your facts get in the way of my reality.
Dude, that just reminded me of the craziest story you sent me this week. Because I was
I've
thinking
already
about
forgotten.
Yeah. What reminded you? They're normally not facts.
Yes. No, because Heineken's from Amsterdam. Amsterdam has whores.
Yes.
And I started thinking about the German. You can see how my
Yeah.
brain got there.
Yeah.
I see what you got.
But in Germany, at one of their airports, they're installing a sex workers carport
Yeah.
situation.
Carport?
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
drive your car, and it's like a row of bays that are walled off on 3 sides, and you can take your sex worker there, and it's a safe place to have sex in your vehicle for the sex worker and for you.
Or
it's-
even outside of the vehicle.
maybe I don't know the
However comfortable you feel in your carport.
yeah I don't know the stats on it, like how
Yeah.
wide it is or
But there's literally going to be prostitutes there,
Yeah.
and you can just go on up to it and have sex just outside of the airport.
Yeah.
I mean, this sounds like the most ridiculous thing. I see a lot of layovers being extended. I see a lot of people being like, hey, I'm flying through such and such airport.
Right.
A 3-hour layover sounds appropriate, you
Right.
know?
I
That
see
way
a lot of people just.
You're going to Portugal. Yeah, but Frankfurt. I got to get by Frankfurt. That's the only place to go.
Yeah, I mean, the other
Can't you
thing,
see a lot of people just pulling up in the parking deck across the way with a telephoto lens and just chilling there all day?
I think there's a lot of weird shit going on here.
Yeah.
This idea blows my mind. So I'm assuming prostitution's
It
legal
doesn't
in
blow
Germany.
my mind. It just seems
I
awesome.
think so.
Well, you used to work in Germany
Yeah.
for months.
Yeah.
Through the military.
Mhm.
Is prostitution legal there?
I know it. Good question. Where was?
I think it is. I think in the article it says it is, and that's
Yes.
So
that's
it
why
is
they're
legal.
doing it.
So I mean, well, that's why I'm trying to figure out, like, if is this a new thing?
Well, I think
Because
it's,
you haven't worked there in at least 10 years.
You know
Well, so
15?
there was multiple different places that I saw we were there, but we were in Amsterdam too. So I kind of again back to the memory thing. But yeah, I think there was some that the Hell's Angels ran.
Well, you know how like there's safe
Really?
places
Yeah.
for like doing Facebook or Craigslist like transactions.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're kind of going after.
So it's
Like-
just like a safe place for
Yeah.
prostitution. That
Yeah.
way the girls are safe, the guys
Yes.
are
Yeah.
safe.
like they're like, this is happening everywhere. Let's get it out of the back alleys of the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Get it to a more semi-private place. People
It's
are
so
safe.
interesting to think about because like my gut is that makes sense. But if someone was to be like, all right, let's do that with heroin addicts.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Well, that's what they do in Portugal.
I
and
know.
Well, that's what they
places
say.
that.
Like, what society do you want to live in? Do you want to live in a society where like there's sex booths? Like, do you want to fly out? You want to go to RIC? You're taking your kids to Disney World, and you got to drive past the.
Yeah, but European culture, we're very Puritan here. You know, we are a lot more uptight about sex than European countries are,
Yes.
or even Asian countries.
for
Yes.
sure.
So we're the anomaly in the world.
Well, I'm not saying one's right and one's wrong. I'm just saying I don't know if I want to be a part of that.
I'm a Puritan at heart, unfortunately. Like I prescribe to the.
I was born and raised one, but I think I'm more as I get older. I get more.
But to Troy's point, I don't want to take my kids around it. Like the other day, my wife was talking about when she gets the kids' ears pierced, she wants to take them to a tattoo parlor to get it done.
Why?
And there was this Puritan, because she says that they are the best at piercings. Like you go to a place that does piercings, they're going to be the cleanest. They're going to be. And
Go to Claire's. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
that's literally what my exact
Claire's-
response.
You're not going to tell me anybody's better than doing what Claire's does because they do that shit all day, every day.
Yeah.
She apparently has some friend who's got like her earring is way too high on one side because Claire screwed it up, but the Puritan in me was like, why would I want to drag a 10-year-old into a place like that so they
Yeah.
could feel like that's normal? I'd rather them still be shocked by that when they're older, just so that there is that.
Yeah.
that
What makes you
shock.
think that they are going to think that's normal?
Because they got their ears pierced there when they were 10. I think that
So-
normalizes it.
Huh. So you don't think they'll just be like, "Mom took us to this crazy place."
I don't know. Maybe that is how they would do it.
Right.
But in my mind, if I'd been
I'm
taken
open,
in there,
I'm open-minded on a lot of things, but I do.
And what's crazy about a tattoo place? I mean, you know.
well, usually they're grimy, right? Like now, I agree. My wife's saying no. There's places that are
There
really
are
upscale.
very nice ones
and
for sure.
You know what? That's true. I
Yeah.
believe there are. So
And
I
you'd
would
probably
want
be
to
safe going in the middle of the day. You're not going to see any crazy.
He should probably just do it here. You could probably pierce him.
Yeah,
I'd gladly
Yeah.
do it.
for sure.
But I think that I don't know. It made me take a step back when I heard her thought. I was like, whoa, I don't like that at all. I don't like the concept of that.
Well, I was saying like I'm open-minded for a lot of things, but I do believe in keeping your kids as pure as possible
For as long as
possible.
possible.
Like,
Innocence you can't get back.
Yeah,
you know
you
what I mean?
can't-
Like
yeah.
that's something that you have for a very short window. If I can stretch that window an extra year,
yeah,
I'd love to. Because once my innocence was gone, it was gone.
yeah.
There was no going back.
There's no running it back.
No, because you've seen things, and I still carry beliefs from innocence, but it's just not the same.
I'm not saying you can't go have a great experience at a tattoo parlor. I just think you're silly if you think they're going to do better than a Claire's. To me, like, if you're really just going on the judging of how the product is, I don't think one's better than the other.
Yeah, I mean, I got my ear pierced at a Claire's college.
Dude, I got my ear. The first time I got my ear pierced, I was 18. No, I was 17. I was at Beach Week in Nags Head. I went to the tie-dye, the
Island Eyes? Nice.
We'd made a friend with the girl who worked there. She pierced my ear after hours. She'd never even done it before.
Troy decisions.
Yeah.
Right there.
They probably sell an ear piercing gun on Amazon.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, you just line it up. Boom.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
You put the dot, you put the Sharpie, and you look at it, make sure it's symmetrical, and then bam. That's simple.
I agree. I don't see why you have to go to some tattoo and piercing place.
And pay 4 times as much, 5 times as
Yeah.
much probably.
But the whole reason we were talking about this, we don't want to go to the airport and have to see prostitutes hanging out. But I think in that culture, if it is already legal, they've seen it. I mean, when you're
But
in
have
Amsterdam and you're walking down the street,
You don't take your kids to the red light district, I can't imagine.
I was in parts of Amsterdam, like way outside of the red light district. You'd have a florist and a coffee shop, and then there'd be like a woman whose apartment just had a window on the first floor with a red light, and she just was there. And then next to that was a pastry shop, and it was just the normal, it was just the normal street, like anywhere else you'd see. There just happened to be a prostitute right there, and it was accepted, and it was different, and families were running around, and it was just
I think
normalized.
prostitution should be legal here, but I don't think it should be like carports in public places. Like, it's
My
like strip
biggest-
clubs. Like, they're strip clubs. We drive by them.
Yeah, they should be in certain parts of
Yeah.
town.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with you. But my biggest fear with this whole thing is you got people flying in from all over the world, and you've got all these prostitutes working right there.
Yeah.
That is like patient zero waiting to happen. Like,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's an epidemic that could spread from this person had it, boom, gives it there. Now 50 more people have it in 2 weeks, and it is out into the world. Like, that's what scares me. That was my immediate thought, was
It
outbreak.
won't take long for them to figure it out.
No, you trace it right back to the carports in Germany.
Yeah.
Like, all these people flew through Germany, and they all have, super AIDS.
Yeah.
That's not good. I just worry about that. That's immediately where my head went
yeah.
when I saw it. It wasn't like, oh, my God, I got to get to Germany. It was like, oh, no, it's going to spread so fast.
Be over here before you know it.
Absolutely. Like, it's that quick.
Yeah.
But you got to believe that airport's going to become more popular,
For sure.
like big time.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of businessmen are going to start flying through there because that's kind of awesome.
Then you just got to rent a car for an hour.
She's got a car if she's doing her job right.
No, I'm assuming you're picking them up and taking them there.
Oh, so they're not just working in the stall waiting.
No, I can't imagine.
They're
That's
probably
what it's
loitering in the airport.
For. Yeah. Or maybe they're driving Ubers.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
That adds up. Yeah, if they're just trolling in the airport bars, how long's your layover?
Just running circles, just in and out of the airport the whole time. They never leave the airport. Their Uber never leaves the airport. That still blew my mind when you told me that story. Like, that's the greatest cover I've ever heard.
It was genius. It was genius, and I'm still to this day like, wow, like what a great racket you have there, because you
Even
can
when you're
size
not
up a
making money,
person.
you're making money.
Yeah, you size up the person.
Yep.
Yeah, you looking for this? I hadn't considered it.
And you can be picky, right? Like,
Yeah, I guess
you're a streetwalker. You probably just take whatever shows up.
that's true.
You're driving the Uber. You're like,
If you're making $20, $30 an hour, what do you care? You
Yeah.
can be picky.
yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's sketchy, but it's brilliant.
We're gonna hear something about that soon.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
That's
I mean, if
gonna
it's
take off.
if I've come across it,
Yeah.
then it's out there. I mean, it's in the world. So
I'm sure some of our entrepreneur listeners have decided to take that route.
Yeah.
I've been doing this Uber thing all wrong.
Yeah, Boo Boo's making a killing.
That's
He's got
right.
that big old trailer.
That's
back
right.
there.
He can sleep 6 or 8 people in that thing comfortably.
Boo Boo's so rich. So rich.
Just renting out that back room,
Yeah.
that queen bed.
Oh, I got one. I got something on the board here that I've been wanting to talk to you about for a while.
What's that?
It's very interesting. Wake County, North Carolina.
Cool.
So apparently in Wake County, North Carolina, it just was realized the other day because like people were complaining about a substitute teacher, and there was another girl who was trying to get a substitute teacher job because she realized her kids were like complaining that the substitutes just aren't up to snuff.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, well, I got my bachelor's degree in such and such, I'll apply. I could probably be a good substitute. So she's going through the process. She submits all her stuff. And she didn't get the job because there was enough people already doing it. And they were like, oh, you don't need to send us your transcripts. She's like, what do you mean I don't need to send you my transcripts? Clearly, I need to send you my college transcripts to be a substitute teacher. It turns out that in Wake County, North Carolina, not only do you not need to be a college grad, you don't even need to have graduated high school to be a substitute teacher, even at the high school level. So you could be a high school dropout and still teach in Wake County, North Carolina.
No offense to all my teacher friends, I would assume that was that way across the board everywhere.
Yeah, I don't see what the big deal is.
Because when I was a kid,
Really?
like substitute teachers were basically babysitters. Like it was just keep people
I'm
from
blown away.
beating the shit out of each other.
I thought Ely'd be offended by this. You don't even care. You're like, as long as you're a good person, don't have a criminal record, you can teach my children.
Yeah.
That kills me.
I don't think a lot of teaching goes on from the subs.
Yeah, apparently you have to take a 6-hour online course, and boom, you're a substitute, regardless of if you have any education at all.
Right.
So, like, you could have just graduated 7th grade, taken this 6-hour course, and
Got your friend to
substitute
take the
teach.
course for you
Yeah, and then you're in.
because you don't know how to turn a computer on.
Right.
So they're like, Wake County's now looking into, like, if they need to address this.
Of course
They can't be the only one.
No, that's what's blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Like, if one is like this is probably common a lot of places.
Yeah.
But I immediately was, like, revolted by this realization.
Really? You didn't like hearing that?
No, I thought at a minimum you should have a high school education.
I will agree with you on that. Like
To be a teacher.
I think pretty much to do anything in life, you should have a high school education. I mean, it just seems.
More importantly, if you're going to be teaching people in high school, you should have at least passed the class.
Yeah, but you're saying they're teaching. I don't think they're teaching. A substitute, I think usually the way it works is somebody calls in sick. It's like, shit, we got to have somebody.
They can press play on this fucking TV.
Yeah.
Just roll
Or
on
make
TV.
sure these snot-nosed brats don't murder each other.
Yeah.
Go AWOL.
So
Like,
both of you really don't see too much of a problem with it.
None.
That's
No,
crazy.
if
I thought
you're
for
going
sure I'd
out-
be bringing some. I thought I was going to get the Ely. Oh, what the fuck? North Carolina's backwards. I'm
No,
getting
no,
the.
no.
well,
Brendan, you're backwards.
okay, you're saying it for a day. Now, if you're telling me you're going out on maternity leave and you're going to be there for 6 weeks, then we have to. That's a different discussion.
But that happens with substitutes.
But I don't
Some-
see much
yes.
value in degrees in general unless they're specialized.
No, but I think a teacher, you have to have at least passed the grade that you're teaching.
You have to at least be able to show that you can teach.
So that's a very different aptitude.
Right.
You don't necessarily have to pass to be a good teacher.
Right.
I did not expect it to go this way.
I mean, that's a valid argument. Degrees are kind of weird. Like, some people have them, some people don't. Some people are great at their job, some people aren't. And there's not a lot of correlation there.
One of
Yeah.
the single most successful guys at my company didn't graduate college, and just the other day it came up that, like, the executives were like, well, you have to have a college degree to, and they were like, what are you talking about? Like, this person over here is one of the most successful people in the company and didn't graduate college. That's crazy talk.
Yeah.
And because of his success, they kind of, like, walked it back. They
Yeah.
were like, oh, you know what? You're right. But in sales,
Well, the problem
what
is,
do you need a degree for?
Well, the problem comes from the HR standpoint, because what they have to do is they have to be so equal across the board. They put out a job opening, and they have to give the minimums met. So if you say not even college education required, you're going to get more influx of people. So you're going to have to whittle that down, those applications, which is just could be, instead of 100, it could be 500. It could just be that much more work for you to find the right person. Yes, you might still get the right person, but you might not either.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you that you don't need degrees for most jobs, but teachers, I just felt like you need a high school degree.
Well, high schools. Yeah.
But I mean, that's what jumped out at me was the lack.
But
of
really, what's your high school degree worth? Honestly, they kind of give them out to
Apparently.
almost anyone. I mean,
Yeah, that doesn't quit.
You'd be
Or
surprised
get
though how
expelled.
many people don't.
you'd be surprised. But like my sister, she skipped school every day her senior year, and still graduated. Like they just didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just skipped lunch.
Yeah.
That was my MO. I love the rush of it. Like skipping out just to get to Subway. Like there was a certain amount of rush getting in and out. You're like, I did it.
My thing was we had the block scheduling, and it was like if you're tardy, you're tardy. If you're absent, you're absent. Well, tardy is not nearly as bad as being absent, but you could show up an hour and a half late to class,
Right.
and you're tardy.
Dude, I was tardy all the time in high school, like my junior and senior year, to the point that I was showing up late and I was missing half of first period. I
Yeah.
mean, religiously, like all the time. And I was forging the notes from my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was one day that I had a dentist appointment like early in the morning.
Like a legit.
Yeah, like a legit excused. And my mom wrote the note. And I
Ruh-roh.
I walked into the attendance office, which I'd been to 30 times prior this year with notes. And I brought it in. I put it down. And they were like, we finally got you, Bueller. Like, this note doesn't add up. And they took it, and they were like, they called me right back out of class. They were like, come back down here to the principal's office. They called my mom in and everything. They were like, he showed up today with a forged note. And she was like,
Oh, they
son.
thought that one was forged.
Yeah, because they'd only seen forged notes the 29 times prior.
Yeah.
That when I showed up, they were like, we got him.
I love that they were dumb enough to think that one was the forged one.
That
not
was the best part.
Right.
The
Exactly.
29 shows you how smart those high school educations and college degrees
Right.
get you.
Yeah, they called my mom. They were like, your son showed up today with a forged note. She's like,
We knew it was forged because everything was spelled correctly.
she's like,
Yeah.
he was at the dentist today. What are you talking about? Like, she backed me up, and I walked. I was like, ha ha.
Oh, so they didn't put
Watch-
2 and 2?
No. Well, they couldn't prove it.
Oh.
Like,
They
they
didn't
only,
say in comparison to the 29 previous
which is all
notes.
they had to say.
Yeah.
But they didn't cross that bridge for
Again,
whatever
how
reason.
smart are you with your degree?
Isn't that the truth? Yeah, I'd gotten away with it.
There's no way we could ever catch him.
Yeah.
After that, I had to tighten up a little
Yeah.
bit. I realized the gig was up. They were on to me, but yeah, I got away with it for the vast majority of my high school career.
Other thing I'll say too is different parts of the country have different. Like there could be way less college and high school graduates in that county.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about Wake County, so
Yeah.
Probably not a booming metropolis of college grads.
Right.
well, and you know what? I'll give you that. Like I'm willing to accept that if the vast majority of your population isn't here, but you can weed out the bad people and the good people who are teachers,
Yeah.
and it's just a substitute. I mean, maybe, but it still took me back.
It's all of Raleigh and Durham, by the way.
That's Wake
Screw
County.
that. That's unacceptable. They have some of the best colleges and high schools in the area.
I'm sorry, it's Raleigh in Wake Forest.
Oh, where the university is.
All the skilled people go to the university, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go.
I've always I remember it being like the stay-at-home moms were substitute teachers, like fill-ins, like, and I don't know if they had degrees or not, but they were.
That's who it was. It was
yeah.
a stay-at-home mom
Yeah.
who decided she wanted to do some
Little
stuff
extra
with
coin.
it. Yeah, and that was exactly it. And when she gave them their transcripts, we don't need this.
Yeah.
That started the whole controversy.
Oh, shout out to our street team. I gave out some stickers, and they were placed around local areas.
Respect that.
So
you've been sending a lot of pictures of seeing stickers in
yeah.
random places.
Yeah, so if you're out in the fan and you see an ITPH sticker, that's our street team.
We need more street team members. I don't
Yes,
know why
we
we're
do.
not leaning on these people.
I don't know.
'Cause Lord knows we're lazy. I mean,
Lord knows we don't get out a lot.
we're committed enough to do the show once a week. That's what we got.
Yeah.
This is our night out.
Yeah, Monday night. What?
Holler.
It is the best. I do want to give a shout out to the dog. I got a bad I got a bad feeling this is the end here. We have a vet
That
visiting.
dog looks like it's from This Is the End.
Yep.
Yes.
That's been the best dog I've ever had, like a true heartfelt moment. Like, that's been the best dog I've ever had. I am going to miss the hell out of that dog. It sucks. He's been the perfect dog because he doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
He just hangs out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
he grows a hell of a facial tumor.
That was his last year. I'd like to talk about the 13 years before the 14th
Okay,
year.
yeah.
You know, he was a good dog, and unfortunately, I've been losing the battle here of trying to keep him alive, and I'm starting to think that maybe I'm the problem. So, I know we have a vet coming out this week. So, unfortunately, I don't think this ends well because I got a funny feeling the vet's going to take one look at him and go, "What have you been doing for the last 6 months?" So, a little bummed to lose him. I haven't lost him yet, so I'm able to talk about it now. So I figured I'd address it while I could. Because the other day when I came to the conclusion, I realized I'm not going to do too well with this.
No, you're not going to beat that tumor, unfortunately.
Nah, it's pretty bad.
The good
over there.
news is he's not 5. He's not 6. He's had a full life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no,
you
I'll
got
give
that
him
going
that.
for you.
No, like, he's been a good man.
I mean, he's in his 90s. He ain't.
Honestly, last year I was like, I hope he makes it to football season. And
I
then
remember that.
Not only did he make it to football season, but here we are on the precipice of this football
Yeah.
season. So he's made it a full year from when they were like, he's got weeks to go.
He said, challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Right. I
So-
got to watch the Bears lose again.
You know what? Now I'm going to keep him alive because you said that.
Because he wants to see it again.
I want to, no, you son of a bitch, because I want him to see him win it all.
That's not. He knows what he's going to see.
Actually, yeah, I should put him down.
Yeah.
It's a foregone.
You think that
conclusion.
tumor's
Yeah.
bad. Don't make him watch that again.
Right.
Watch this Trubisky.
Yeah.
I'd rather have another tumor than watch this guy throw the ball.
Yeah, he may walk off on his own.
Nah, so I did want to at least acknowledge it. He's still here with us today, but I have a feeling the next time we're on the air, he won't. So he'll be missed.
Won't be the same without old Colby dog out here every Monday night with us.
Nah, he's been.
You'll replace him soon, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'd replace him. There'll be another dog.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what replacing is.
No, because my wife wants a doodle. That's
And
not
you'll
a
have
dog.
a doodle.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
So congratulations on your new doodle.
Exactly.
Can't wait to meet the little bastard.
Yeah.
Oh, I can.
I don't mind doodles. I think they're cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
You want my doodle?
You're gonna fucking be smitten with that thing as soon as you see it.
No, because I'm always going to compare him to this dog.
Nah.
Oh yes, there's no doubt about that. I'm going to
Yeah.
compare him to this dog, and the doodle's not as good. I can tell you that now.
I'm pretty sure the doodle's not gonna have a massive tumor off his face, so it's gonna be pretty.
How do you know
Cool.
what kind of dog to get?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You shouldn't
You know, it could be in the
I
fucking
shouldn't
water.
judge. Yeah.
Like that,
Yeah.
the new dog could have a tumor within a year.
True.
I wish it would. I hate the new dog.
Yeah.
I wish that
The
motherfucker
worst.
would get a
Barks all the
tumor.
time.
Y'all got dog names already picked out?
Yeah, tumor,
Yeah. Snota Tuma.
mast cell. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
lots of names for the new
Not
dog.
Colby.
Yeah, not Colby's a good name for the dog.
For sure.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, way to bring the listeners down.
I was going to end it on a low note. Should I try to end it on a high note?
I don't know if you got a high note to go out on. Think we've exhausted all of our topics.
Yeah.
I got one thing that's been pissing me off.
Oh, well, let's go with
Wanna
that.
Get me pissed off.
Yeah.
So you sent me a meme the other day that showed a tomato plant.
That meme's the best.
This asshole has me. He goes out of town all the time. And is like, hey, can you come over and water my plants? I'm like, yes.
How about I just buy you a sack of tomatoes? Yeah.
It would be far better yield than what I get. What did the meme say that you sent us the other day?
It was like, here's how to save money. Go buy tomato plants. Wait 6 months. Save $2 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's effectively it. So every day I come out, I water the plants. I got to think about it. It's always on my fucking mind. I watch these things grow. They start to turn from green to red. And then right before they turn red, some fucking deer walks through the yard and munches up everything that's on it. And it happens like clockwork. It's because they visit every night and go, nope.
Not yet.
that
red
one's
enough.
not
Yeah.
ready yet.
But what deer love is a tomato that's 3 days prior to when a human would pick it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
they
a
know.
deer's favorite tomato. And these sons of bitches show up And not only do they eat it, but then they shore the plant down.
Oh,
so
shit.
now it's at
So it can't even grow.
And these fuckers come in. They eat jalapenos. They eat tomatoes. They eat it all. They have a fucking Mexican feast back
Yeah,
here.
they do. They're making
Enjoy-
guac.
They got salsa
Yeah.
back there.
They're like, this is
They're going to
fantastic.
the cornfield down the street and chips and shit.
Right.
So I'm starting to question my whole tomato growing thing because I've been doing this for years, and every year it's the same
How
problem.
many of you yielded?
12? But I've probably seen at least 50 bud and come to fruition. And I've been fighting mold back there. I've been doing all kinds. I have spent more money on those plants than I ever would have spent on tomatoes if
Yeah.
I'd bought only the finest tomatoes from farmers markets weekly.
Yeah.
I've spent far more
Time, effort.
every other day. I'm out here working on them, and the only thing that I'm finding that's a saving grace is that it's kind of cathartic. In the morning, before work starts, I'll go out and spend 10 minutes where it's my time looking at the tomato, going, "Oh, that one's going to be ready to pick in about a week." 3 days later, motherfuckers,
Gone.
where'd all the tomatoes go? And they
Fucking
come in
old.
and they eat everything. I mean, every single thing that's.
I don't
even
know if I
cooked.
mentioned it on the podcast, but it was a month ago. I pulled up to the front of your house, and from where you live off of Robius Road, it's a stone's throw. It's a golf ball hit.
Yeah.
It's not far. And you had a fucking deer come out of your front yard, dude. I'd never seen such a thing. I mean, you're in a neighborhood.
They
Yes,
should be
it's
dead.
old growth. There's big houses and big trees, and it's woodsy. But, to see a fucking deer coming out of your front yard onto the street was wait, is that fucker turning around or something? Where is he going?
Pisses me off. Oh, because you know why? Because they're well fed,
They know what's up.
fully
in this neighborhood.
organic, no
Yeah.
chemicals here. I'm
Yeah.
just using organic mold killer and nonsense.
You're
And
the
they tell their
gourmet
friends,
place,
too,
dude.
yeah.
yeah, they
They
do.
love it here. They go out there, they get a mouthful of basil, they come back here, they mix it with some tomatoes, they live in the dream. Have a jalapeno, go straight from
And
Italian
they really
to
do
Mexican.
tell their friends.
Oh, there's no doubt about
Yeah.
it.
You need to sit up in that tree house, the playground, turn that bitch into a deer blind, and just sit there with a crossbow and just murk those motherfuckers.
Yeah, that sounds like something he'd do.
That's right. You should have one
Kill
of
him
your
with
manly
hugs.
friends do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a manly
Kill
friend
them with
that can do it.
hugs? Is
Yeah.
that what you just said?
Right.
You're a twat.
Just here's what you do, Brendan.
Welcome back, Ely.
You throw a camo cover over it, and when they get close, you go, "I feel threatened. I feel threatened. I feel threatened."
Right.
And then they die.
They do. They just collapse like
Yeah.
a fainting goat.
It's not
Oh,
gonna work.
that was hilarious.
I know.
Yeah.
It's my only defense. It is heartbreaking, though. Those sons of bitches. It used to be squirrels. And squirrels are even worse because they
Yeah.
take one bite and then leave it on
Move
the
along.
ground.
Yeah.
So you can watch it slowly turn to red in the yard with a bite out of it from some rabid piece of shit. At least the deers just
Then it'd
destroy
be worth
everything.
your time if you got 100 pound of venison out of it.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. And
Yeah.
at least I know they taste good 'cause they're
Grow
full
a
of
couple
tomatoes.
dollars worth of
A
tomatoes.
little metal fence out there. Put some little 12-volt battery on
There
it.
you go.
Teach them to fuck with your tomatoes.
I like where this is going.
Yeah.
It's not a
Put
bad
120 volts to it and fucking not have to worry about it ever again.
idea. Oh,
Yeah.
and $120
Yeah.
because that's what's going to cost for me to save $2. When you sent
But
that
it's so
meme,
worth it.
I laughed and then I cried. 'Cause I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what I do.
Yeah.
I spend all my damn money and time on trying to save 50 cents,
Yeah.
and I've saved none of it
Yeah.
because they keep winning. It's heartbreaking. I've seen a whole new batch starting coming in, and I'm like, oh, shit. It's coming. They're going to get them soon because I'm starting to get excited.
Yeah.
That's about the time the deer go, hey, did you see Dummy was excited?
Can you pick them a couple days early and let them ripen in the house?
You can, but they're better if you just leave them
Yeah.
on there. They just taste better. So, unfortunately,
How do you know? You asked the deer?
I've just done it.
He said, "Don't do it yet.
Yeah.
I'm not ready."
I've just done it. I've pulled them inside, and they're good. They're just, if they really go red on
Did
the
it go
vine-
better with the greenhouse around it, or do they still go up in the greenhouse?
No, because they didn't go in there.
Yeah, you got to
And
put
so
that greenhouse back
I
around it.
thought I had the plan. I've blown it.
Yeah.
So I took them back out because the greenhouse folded in a year.
Yeah.
So that was like $200 gone. I can't win. I keep trying to save
No.
money, but it's because I want to be this farmer. I'm not a farmer.
No, you're not even a man.
No, that's not accurate. Clearly,
Ely.
man.
Is he a man?
Brendan, come on. You're a fucking hippie. That much is true.
He's like, I'm totally a man. I'm gonna get my Miata and fucking squeal wheels out of here.
I'll show him.
I'm not even know how to phrase my feelings right now.
I'll show these fuckers how manly I am.
I am fucking mad.
Yeah. Get in my car with me. Put on that Debbie Gibson track.
I'm gonna put on my hot pink fucking Miami Club, my Miata Club shirt, and fucking
Dude,
cruise
that shirt
around.
is sick.
It is pretty dope.
That's a sweet shirt.
Yeah, very popular at the manhole.
Been watching Birds a lot recently.
Speaking
Birds.
speaking of men,
There's a min.
that's the men. That's the manliest man I ever met.
Well, on that note, I tried to liven it up, and I see that it's devolving quickly.
It was better. It was better than way we were going.
Yeah.
out.
Well, you see, so I did my part.
Yes, thank you.
I did my part. I opened myself up to the ridicule.
You did.
Well done.
Yeah, see, I got you.
It's for the group.
Speaking of the group, you guys should be supporting the group out there. You guys as the listeners, look, you are the ones who like our show. If you didn't like our show, you wouldn't be listening to the show. All the more reason to be turning your cubicle mates and all of your friends onto the show. They're going to appreciate it. They like you like us. You see how that works? It's called by proxy.
That's right.
So turn them on to the show. Cincinnati Swap them. Reach over to their phone. Subscribe them. They'll thank you later. Trust me on this. If you haven't had a chance to reach out and rate us on iTunes or wherever it is you get podcasts from, you should certainly do so. We would appreciate the 5-star kind of rating. That's always the best. Or you can reach out to us at insidethepallethouse@gmail.com and always send us your topics. Don't forget to head over to Nectar Sunglasses. Drop ITPH in the coupon code. You will save 30% off of your sunglasses. They got some good. I was looking at those Killix the other day. I think I'm actually going to buy those.
That's
It's
what I have.
The new wraparound.
I love them.
That is actually a damn good looking
Really?
sunglass. Yeah, it's kind of the cross between sunglass and like wraparound, because wraparounds tend to come right off the lens to it. This has more of an arm coming off of it. It's actually a really good look.
Cool.
Tried them on for the first time the other day, and I was like, oh shit, this
to
is
get
nice.
a pair of those.
Yeah, they're sharp. If you haven't had a chance to reach out to us on Twitter or Instagram, that is at ITPH Podcast. We'd love to hear from you there. Assuming Neely's checking it that week, we'll find out soon enough. We'll talk to you guys next week. Cheers.
Cheers. That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
That was a really good podcast.